Well, let me show you some weed strategy. And it's not strategy that I have against the weeds, it's the strategies the weeds have against me. And you. I love tomato cages. I just think they're the best thing since sliced bread to cage your tomatoes, to help your tomatoes to grow tall and do their thing. The only problem, and I have a video about making the world's best tomato cages. Be up there right about now, or wait till the end of the video and I'll probably put it at the end of the video. However, the only problem, and there's only one problem with tomato cages, and that's it's hard to weed under. And it's hard to weed under, for me, a certain kind of grass gets in here. I believe it's Dallas grass, kind of looks like it. And that is, it always, every one of these cages, I think, had a clump of weeds, clump of grass that straddled the tomato cage. So there's some of the weeds, some of the grass on that side, some of the grass on this side. So you can't just pull it up. You pull it on tomato cages. I think that's by design. I think the weeds are smart. Some would say, well, no, it's because a seed got trapped under the tomato cage and helped it to germinate, and that's why. It's not that weeds are smart. Well, the tomato cages hadn't been here but just a few weeks. You saw me putting them on. And these probably had already been there, germinated, whatever. Anyway, I think it's a strategy against me. I think they're, because like I say, every one of these things, there's one right there that if I don't get it now, it will grow under. I only got part of it. There you go. So what I have to do is, and I don't have a tripod with me, so I just have to push the tomato cage a little bit out of the way and yank it up. But it's growing right square in the middle of that tomato cage. Not all of them. Here's one that was closer to the plant itself. But every one, I do believe, every one of these darn tomato cages had at least one big clump of grass that was straddling, growing up between the edges of that tomato cage, making it hard to get to. Anyway, we about got it weeded. Did this with the Haas cultivator with the sweeps on it, and then came back with the cultivator teeth on it. All that grass you see is just dead, pulled up and tossed out of the way. Most of this tossed out of the way from the tomato cages. I mean, it's just laying on top, and as long as I don't step on it and press it in there and force the roots into the ground, it won't regrow, it won't reroot. Anyway, just thought you might want to understand that your weeds may be smarter than you are. There's one right there. He didn't quite make it. He's right up against it. But if I gave him another week, he'd have curled up around it. I'm sure it's that tomato cage is metal. Tomato cage catches heat or soaks up heat, puts out heat. So therefore, you know, it's a desirable place to go. But I think it's strategy. I think the weeds are just messing with me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like to be messed with. But I do like to get the upper hand. And that's one way to do it. Is just get down there and yank them up. That looks a lot better, doesn't it? Raked all the grass out. Looks pretty dang good. The rest of the grass that's in it's dead. Its days are numbered. All right, I believe. Whoo, we're done with this. It's 90 something degrees. 90, 91. That's warm for an old man. All right, we're gone.